Hello Story Detectives and welcome to week 8 of term 3. This is our second to last week of Story Detectives and this is the last lesson that we will have in our traditional format because as next week is our last week, we will do something a little bit different. But we have the book today called Tiny Ant, which I thought was a lovely story. It has a great message and there's also some fab vocabulary in here so we can expand our word knowledge. So let's have a look at this book, Tiny Ant, by Claire Friedman and Claire Powell. And there is our tiny ant, the star of this story. And if we look here on these 4 pages, we'll see that this is where the ant lives. In this wonderful tunnel sort of home. And there he is, waking up in his bedroom. And we're going to learn all about ants today, and we'll find out that many of them do actually live in little tunnels like this underground in ant hills. They're quite fascinating creatures. Okay, so here we go. In the jungle, there's a contest for the animals each year. It's the show Jungle's Got Talent. And today it's filming here. The animals rehearse their acts while standing in the queue. They all long to be superstars. Here's Ant. What can he do? Perhaps he's Mighty Muscle Ant, the others joke and jeer. But Tiny Ant stands quietly, pretending he can't hear. The judges strut and take their seat. It's up to them who wins. The audience go wild and clap. At last, the show begins. First on stage is Elephant. He gulps a nervous cough. Then shakes with fear, bursts into tears, and has to be helped off. Oh. It's Lion's acrobatics next. Oh no! His costume's split. He's walking very oddly as he makes a quick exit. The chipmunks introduce each act and hug them if they're sad. You did your best, they tell them, when the judges' score is bad. Oh dear, 0, 0, 0. The audience duck for cover. Monkey's juggling act goes wrong. Poof! Smelly Skunk is booed off stage. He makes an awful pong. The judges sigh and shake their heads. This whole show is a bungle. We've not one single animal with talent in this jungle. But lastly, out comes Tiny Ant. He takes the microphone. I'm here to sing, Ant whispers. If you must, the judges groan. Ant clears his throat, opens his mouth. His voice rings crystal clear. So beautiful, the judges gasp and wipe away a tear. Oh, wow, the audience applaud. They all stand up to cheer. It shows you can't judge anyone by how they may appear. Ant wins the show and takes his prize. It's been an awesome night. Let's just hope no one treads on him as he walks home tonight. Oh, and there we go, there's Ant going back into his home. Now let's just have a little look at that story again, because I think that's really sweet. Oh look, there's his big trophy. And there's Ant, fast asleep in bed after all the excitement. So I don't know whether any of you have watched shows like America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, but they're very popular on TV at the moment, and this is a little sort of reminder of those TV programmes where you invite people to come and show off what they can do, and then the judges will give you a score and decide who's got the best talent. So we're starting off here in the jungle, and they're looking for somebody with talent to be in the show. So there's all these people in this queue waiting to see if they can have a turn. And there's obviously a lot of different talented, well, little hopeful talents here. We've got the elephant with the tambourine. It looks like a gorilla there who can ballet dance. Some leopards who look like they're going to do some ballroom dancing. A little weightlifting frog there. Where's the frog gone? Well, there. Little tiny frog weightlifting. And then we've got a banjo playing orangutan, a hula hoop, sort of, I don't know what that is, some sort of deer or something. And then this creature here who looks as if he's going to try and do an escape act out of that sort of complicated, oh, it's a snake, isn't it? He's tied himself up and it looks like he's going to try and escape. And then we've got some little monkeys here who look like they're going to do some sort of dance together with their little hats on. And then tiny Ant. Now what this story is saying is nobody's expecting very much from this Ant because he's so small. They don't think he's going to have much talent. And then they're all pointing at him and joking and saying, oh, what's he going to do? Is he going to do a muscle act? He's so tiny. But the Ant doesn't say anything. He just stands there quietly. So he knows he's talented. And they're going to be surprised. So then the audience all take their seats and judges come in. The first up is the elephant. Now you would think that an elephant would be very brave because they're so big. But this elephant obviously gets a bit of stage fright. He's nervous in front of the audience. He starts to cry and they have to help him off. Oh dear. And then the lion obviously wants to show off his acrobatic skills, but look, he's split his trousers. Oh no, how embarrassing. He has to make a quick exit so nobody can see his bottom. And then we've got well, it says here the chipmunks are introducing each act. And then this poor gorilla obviously didn't do very well. And this guy here with his hula hoops has got into a bit of a mess. And the judges have been scoring them with a 0, meaning they haven't done very well. Then the monkey is juggling bananas, but that all goes wrong and all the audience is hit with these bananas. And then the smelly skunk comes on to play a trumpet or a trombone or something. But skunks, if you know about skunks, release a really horrible smell, especially when they're a bit frightened. So maybe that's what's happened here. And the audience are all, they've booed him off stage because he's absolutely stinky. So the judges are getting a bit fed up here and they're thinking, has nobody got any talent? But then the little ant says, here to sing. And they all think, oh, for heaven's sake. Not another one. I don't think he's going to be very good. They can barely even see him. Look, there we've got Tiger with a little magnifying glass to see if they can see him. And look, this guy here has got even a telescope because he's so tiny they can barely see him. They don't look very hopeful. They have already assumed that he's not going to be very talented. But they have made a bad assumption because once he stands there and opens his mouth, he sings. His voice rings crystal clear. That means he has a beautiful voice. It's so beautiful that the judges are crying. Sometimes people cry not because they're sad, but because something is so beautiful. And it brings a tear to their eye. It causes an emotion in them that makes them actually burst into tears. And this is obviously what's happened here with the ant. He sang such a beautiful song. The judges have actually cried because it was so beautiful. And the audience stand up and applaud. And our final message here is, you can't judge anyone by how they may appear. And what a wonderful message that is. You can't look at somebody and think, you won't be able to do that, you're too small. Or you won't be able to do that, you're too young. Or you don't look as if you're clever enough. We can't judge anybody because everybody has a secret talent. And some people might surprise you. And you might not expect it from them, but it might turn out that they are amazingly talented at something. And I think that is an absolutely wonderful message. Don't judge anybody by the way they look, because they might surprise you. So there we go, that's our book for this week. Tune back in for video 2 and we will have a look at the word of the week and some of the other vocabulary. Okay, thank you, bye.